Gorgeous day in early September here in Cincinnati, Ohio. We're at the Great American Ballpark, 80 degrees. Jim Hayes is here. Al Raboski, Dan McLaughlin here in the booth as the Cardinals and Reds playing game number 3 of their 3-game series. A look at Mike Matheny's lineup. Matt Carpenter at the top of that lineup, followed by Jed Jerko and Brandon Moss. Steven Piscotty, 2 for 4 yesterday. Yadier Molina back in the lineup. Then Greg Garcia, Randall Grichuk, Colton Wong, and the pitcher batting ninth, Carlos Martinez. Tim Adelman is a 28-year-old. He was 1-1 in 4 starts with the Reds in May and had to go on the DL with an oblique injury. He is one of 11 Reds players to make their major league debut this season.
Originally drafted by the Orioles, 24th round of the 2012 draft. And, you know, he went to Georgetown and has a degree in healthcare management. But after he was released by the Orioles, he didn't want to do that. So he went on to, about 3 or 4 different independent leagues. Actually tried out for one and didn't make it. They referred him to another team. And then the Reds signed him out of the independent leagues.
First pitch to Carpenter is a strike.
They say he's a fly ball pitcher. He's given up 8 home runs in 7 starts, and the one guy we got to get going is Carpenter.
Works from the stretch. 3 infielders on the right side, and that's cranked out to right field. There's Billy Hamilton, and he makes the catch. Hyundai pitch arsenal on Tim Adelman. Fastball, curve, and change. That's now 42 fly ball outs to go along with 41 ground ball outs. So as Al mentioned, a lot of fly balls from this right-hander.
And they say that he doesn't have exceptional stuff, maybe what we call 4A. Good for AAA, but not quite good for the big leagues, but he'll throw strikes.
Yesterday, the Cardinals made it 22 straight games of the home run, thanks to Jed Jerko, his 25th of the year. And he is tied atop the leaderboard in home runs for the Cardinals with those 25, he along with Brandon Moss.
75% of the runs the Cardinals have scored lately have been via the home run. A lot of solo shots, though.
0-2 the count. Outfield is straight away and deep. Jerko another start at shortstop. Aledmys Diaz is playing for Palm Beach today, and we may see him rejoin the club this week. Also has a little bit of a funky delivery. You see that working from the stretch. Slight hesitation as he'll come set, and then the delivery. Right there.
Yep. And you can see working at the top of the zone. That's why it produces a lot of fly balls, but not a smart idea in this small little bandbox.
Let's see that hesitation one more time. There it is, and Jerko hits it out to right field, backing up Schebler. And he makes the catch on the track. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs. Peraza in left field, Hamilton in center, Schebler in right. Suarez and Cozart on the left side of the infield. Hernan Iribarren is your second baseman. Joey Votto at first, and Ramon Cabrera is behind the plate.
Iribarren was just added to the roster today. He won the batting championship in the International League. So we're a first look at him.
Initially in the lineup, it was Brandon Phillips. May recall he had a foul ball off his foot in the game on Friday night, and he was a late scratch yesterday and again today. Here's Brandon Moss. He is 0 for his last 14. No balls and 2 strikes.
That little hesitation doesn't seem like much, but it does throw the timing off of a hitter. Right after he takes that deep breath, starts to wind up, and then there's a little hesitation. There's a deep breath, and then that pause.
And he strikes out Moss. So the Cardinals go 1-2-3. Carlos Martinez on the mound when we come back. And last time out, he was just awesome. Electric stuff. Struck out 13 in 6 innings. And he is so much fun to watch here in the second half of the year. 12-7 his record overall. But 13 strikeouts, Al, in 6 innings of work against the Brewers.
35 times the Cardinals have had a pitcher strike out 13 or more, but he's the first to do it in less than 7 innings. But with that high pitch count, they got him out after 6 innings. They got a no decision. That's almost a crime in itself because he pitched so well.
So Billy Hamilton leads it off in this lineup, then Cozart and Votto here in the first. Hamilton hitting .295 since the All-Star break. First pitch is strike. Now has a career high with 58 stolen bases this year. The season high, by the way, for the Reds, 1891. There were 87 steals from Arlie Latham. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Hamilton, really the first inning, he really has a high batting average, .338.
Little squibber off the end of the bat. Make sure you get it before it rolls fair. And it's touched by Garcia at third base today.
That's a good point, Dan. That ball looked like it was hit the edge of the foul territory grass and started turning towards the fair territory. We saw a ball yesterday that kind of went right down the third base line, was on the chalk for a long time, and then at the last second curved foul.
And that was Greg Garcia in that play yesterday. Here's a 1-2. Struck him out. Well, we know he is so tough against right-handed batters, but with 2 strikes, expect a lot of this. The breaking ball from Carlos Martinez. Even against the lefties. Hyundai pitch arsenal, fastball, change, the cutter, and curve for Carlos.
He's made 4 starts against Cincinnati, a .263 ERA, and the Cardinals are 4-0.
Here's Zach Cozart with a fly ball into center. And the catch made by Randall Grichuk for out number 2. This could be a fun matchup here. Right now, you have the game's hottest hitter in Votto against one of the hottest pitchers in baseball in Carlos Martinez.
And one thing about Carlos, he usually comes out very effective in the first inning. A lot of times your bigger starters will kind of struggle the first part of the game until they get into a groove. Not Carlos. He's right from the start.
And a ground ball hit to the right side, handled easily by Colton Wong. So 1-2-3 inning for Carlos Martinez. No score here in Cincinnati.
Will be the stopper, and Carlos Martinez has. He's been the best pitcher for the Cardinals all season long, and put up some crooked numbers. Cardinals have been getting the home runs 22 straight games. They've hit 43 during that time. They're only 11-11, and on this road trip they've scored a total of 12 runs in the 5 games, and 9 of those 12 have been via the home run.
Stephen Piscotty 2 for 4 yesterday. He leads it off here in the second. And the 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cardinals purchased the contract of Carson Kelly from AAA Memphis, their top catching prospect. Dean Anna designated for assignment, and Brian Pena has been activated as well, and both are in uniform and here today. Just made it in time for our first pitch.
And Piscotty got a couple hits yesterday. Hopefully that'll get him going in the right direction. Cardinal bats have hit 196 on this road trip.
Little ground ball that's pulled foul. Cardinals will be in Pittsburgh tomorrow for the first of 3, and then back home 4 with Milwaukee, 3 with Chicago, and a pennant race. Good seats still available. Some of the theme ticket nights are coming up as well, and those $9 tickets for the Cubs series. Piscotty a base hit. thinking two out of the box. The wide turn around first on his way to second. And trotting in safely, standing up. And the Cardinals' first hit of the afternoon.
Like I said, good to see Piscotty starting to get into a groove. 2 hits yesterday. Now he comes up with this one. Getting scoring position for Yadier Molina, who hears a little bit boos from the Reds and applause from the Cardinal fans.
It was an opposite field home run in game 1 of the series for Molina. He has 9 career opposite field homers, with 5 coming at this ballpark. Molina the other way. Schebler backing up, makes the catch. Piscotty will tag from second to third. Six is a serious number at On the Run. When the Cardinals score 6, any size drink, just 50 cents the next day. Coffee fountain, frozen drinks. When they score, you pour at your nearest On the Run. You earned it.
Cardinals' hottest hitter is coming up. Greg Garcia, 3-game hitting streak, 5 for 7 during that time, 6 for 9 on the road trip, and he's reached base 8 straight times.
Infield is drawn in with 1 out. Well, the Reds know it's going to be tough to score against Carlos Martinez, so even at this ballpark where there's a ton of home runs, a lot of offense, they're going to bring the infield in here in the top of the second.
And we talked about Hademan being a fly ball pitcher. We'll take a sac fly or more.
Here's the 0-1. On the inside corner, says Angel Hernandez, calling the balls and strikes today. Will Little down at first. Ted Barrett, the crew chief, is at second. Lance Barksdale is at third. We see Angel all the time in spring training, based out of that area in Florida. Works a number of the Cardinals games.
That's where he lives, down in South Florida.
0-2 pitch. And he struck him out. Second strikeout for Edelman. Randal Grichuk was called back up, and in that time he has 21 hits. 17 of the 21 have gone for extra bases.
4 hits on this road trip, 2 of the 4 home runs.
Outfield very deep. Room on the right side of the infield. Here's the 0-1. Did not go. 1 ball and 1 strike.
First to get ahead breaking ball, and then a little harder one off the plate to try and give him chase. Try to avoid throwing him a fastball, wouldn't you think, unless it's wasted.
Colton Wong on deck, and the 1-1 pitch in the air, deep right. Schebler back. It is gone. 2-run homer, Randal Grichuk. The Cardinals have homered in 23 straight games.
There's one of my crooked numbers today. Well, we wouldn't need to have a laugher today, don't we? We may have 50-50 Cardinal to Reds fans here. Just remember, the Cardinals 23 straight games with the home run franchise record extended, but they're only 11-11 during that time.
Boy, the Cardinals need that, especially after the strikeout by Garcia. Chance for the Reds to get out of the inning. And now it's Colton Wong.
And Dan, you know, I mean, why would you throw him a fastball? Got the fastball that I didn't think that they would throw, because that's the result I was thinking.
Let's hit out of play. 0-2.
This is Colton Wong's first time to play on the road trip.
And Wong lifts a fly ball into shallow right, and the catch is made. Home run by Grichuk. 2-0 lead. Getting healthier in Jim Hayes. That means Mike Leake is back on track.
Yeah, as you know, Dan, Mike has been battling a nasty case of the shingles. He's been making steady progress. He's here in Cincinnati, and he actually threw a bullpen today. Leake told me it went well, and he feels he's strong enough to take a start on Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on what Mike Matheny decides. Matheny told me they want to wait and see how Leake responds before making any decisions. On dealing with the shingles, Leake told me it wasn't any fun. You couldn't lay on your left side, and anytime you knocked into it, it was awful painful. Besides a lack of sleep and not being able to get comfortable, it was an experience. That's what Mike Leake said about the shingles. Danny said today is as good as he's felt in a long time, and he's obviously excited to be back.
All right, good news there. 1-1 pitch. Suarez hits it out of play. I just remember being around Tony La Russa when he was dealing with shingles and the pain that he was in. And remember the side of his face that was swollen for a while. Then I was swollen shut. Couldn't sleep. There's a strikeout of Suarez, and the second of the afternoon for Carlos Martinez.
Made me go get the vaccination.
Well, that made the impression on you then.
It did.
This is what he will do with 2 strikes against right-handed hitters.
Oh, it's just insane what he's done with right-handed hitters. They have a .229 slugging percentage off of Martinez this year.
But it's that slider with 2 strikes.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a devastating pitch. Here's Schebler. He's taken over the primary duties in right field after the trade of Jay Bruce to the Mets.
Schebler made the ball club out of spring training, but really failed. Hit about 175. Sent him to AAA, hit 311. And then when Bruce was traded, the same night, or the first night he came up, August the 2nd, when he had the walk-off home run against O.
3-1. When you watch Martinez, I'd say the last month or so, it is so free and easy watching him.
It doesn't look like he breaks a sweat, just looks like he's playing catch.
And now Schebler is the first base runner for the Cincinnati Reds. What you think about ground balls when balls are put in play against Martinez, and behind him the Cardinals have turned 28 ground ball double plays.
That leads the National League. Second in ground ball percentage to Jaime Garcia, and then Mike Leake is third in the National League.
So the first pitch now to Jose Peraza. Recently called back up, last 13 games hitting .467. Gets a start in left field today. He can play shortstop, he can play second, he can play third. Runner goes. Pulled foul. One ball and 1 strike, so 54% of his strikeouts this year coming on that slider.
You know, with all the statistics that are throughout the dugouts and in the clubhouses, you would think that hitters would, after a while, would be thinking about that. 2 strikes. A chase pitch.
Here's a 1-1. They may be thinking it, but then you have to hit it too.
Yeah, that's true too. But I mean, if you're conscious of it, you shouldn't swing at a ball that's put outside. Slow things down a little bit.
Two-1. There's your ground ball. Jerko to second, the turn, and save at first.
Really, the ball in the hole there took a long time for Jerko to get to it. So not, you know, really traditionally on your double play ball, you want to really hit right at the guy. But they made it real close with a real quick turn by Colton Wong at second. I mentioned said it was the first action he'd seen on this road trip. He did play 2 games in in Milwaukee and played very, very well in those games.
Brings in Ramon Cabrera. He's off the bench yesterday and a key base hit for the Reds. A pinch hit, 2-run single. Then extended their lead to 4-1, and then they busted that game open. We're in the bottom of the second, 2-0 St. Louis. Runner at first and 2 outs. Carpenter checking the webbing of his first baseman's mitt as Martinez threw a seat over there. On the year, Cabrera hitting .256. Home run, he's driven in 19.
Switch hitter.
In terms of average, this is his lesser side. Moss, Grichuk, Piscotty in the outfield. Around the horn presented by Dobbs. Garcia, Jerko, Wong, and Carpenter on the infield, and Molina is behind the plate.
346 right-handed, but just 26 at bats. 234 left-handed with 234. I saw on Friday night when Yachty was back there that they were running. Of course, it was Hamilton, but the Reds have been very aggressive on the base paths.
Big gap in right center. See Molina looks in over to Mike Matheny, gives the signs defensively, maybe of a pitch out. There's a good changeup.
I think the Reds run a little bit more than the Cardinals. They have 120 steals and the Cardinals have 30.
No balls and 2 strikes. Martinez has made 4 starts against the Reds. Cardinals have won all 4 of those games, and his ERA is under 3. The 1-2 struck him out. 2 strikeouts in the inning, and 3 thus far today for Carlos Martinez. Riverfest here in Cincinnati. Huge fireworks show will be on display later tonight. They'll close down some of the streets here in downtown Cincinnati. They've done a very nice job after the All-Star game. It's helped revitalize certain portions of downtown Cincinnati. It was buzzing here last night. Carlos Martinez leads it off. Martinez hitting .245, no home runs. He's driven in 4.
Something out in right center field that Hamilton's going to retrieve a ball or something.
He says he's ready to go.
Martinez has been able to help himself with the bat.
Yeah, I think we just take for granted, Al, that the Cardinals are going to be in postseason every single year. We're so fortunate to have teams that do go to the playoffs, and want to remind folks to make sure and come out to the ballpark with really a playoff atmosphere. It should be, with the games upcoming with Milwaukee and Chicago, second to last homestand of the season. Granted, the Cardinals have not played their best baseball at home, but still, it will be like the playoffs. They need wins.
And you just can't believe that they're not going to start playing better at home. They have lost 3 of their last, 3 of the last series. Three of their last 4 series, but they still have the 2nd spot in the wild card. It's incredible. 5 straight years they've gone to the postseason. First time in franchise history. And potentially they got a 6th. It's up to them. They win, they control their destiny.
Cardinals at the start of play today, 2.5 back of San Francisco for the top spot. The Mets now a game back of the Cardinals. Pittsburgh 2.5, Miami 3. A 3-2 pitch to Martinez. Good little battle right here.
Yeah.
8 pitches so far. We have been spoiled with great baseball in St. Louis.
No doubt. But it's such a great atmosphere for the players.
That's a credit to the franchise to produce players year after year. You think about in this run of the Cardinals, Reds were a very good team for a 3 to 4 year period. Then they dropped off. Milwaukee the same thing. Cubs had to rebuild. 10 pitch at bat for Carlos Martinez. All the while when that's going on, the Cardinals produce players, or they sign the right players and have a chance to put themselves in the playoffs again.
Yeah, I mean, today you look at some of the franchises. You think about the Cubs, Houston, different teams where they were willing to, play cellar dwellers for several years to get top draft picks before they could, and then develop those talented players into the major league rosters. But Cardinals every year want to put out a championship caliber team.
I mean, some teams come out and they say, well, we are rebuilding. Still support us, but we're rebuilding. The Cardinals will say, hey, this is expectations now.
Yeah.
We expect to be in postseason play. 2-0 on Carpenter, who fly to right center, start this game. So a huge 3-game series begins tomorrow. All 3 games on Fox Sports Midwest. Now, Jim had the report on Mike Leake. Right now listed for the Cardinals would be Wainwright tomorrow, Weaver on Tuesday, Reyes on Wednesday. We'll see if that sticks. 2-2 on Carpenter.
And the way Weaver and Reyes have pitched, it's a tough decision for Mike Matheny. I would have to base, though, I mean, if Leake is saying this is the first day he's felt good in about 2 weeks, I've got to let him feel stronger and get stronger.
And I would counter that by saying, I get what you're saying, and I agree. However, you're in September, running out of time, and Alex Reyes, if that would be the choice to put in the bullpen, is such a weapon. And we've seen where the Cardinals are trying to figure out how to bridge the gap to get to Segrist and O and some of the others.
That could be a deciding factor.
Carpenter hits a fly ball into right, sinking liner, and it's caught by Schebler. The most popular way to follow the Cardinals postseason push, MLB.com/@bat. #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy game day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Get MLB.com/@bat on your favorite devices now. But just looking at the way that it's set up, 4 of the 6 starters in that series, rookies. Weaver, Reyes, Cole, and Taillon.
Right. Pirates are having their problems too. Cole's on the DL. They traded Liriano.
Here's Mike Leake.
Not sure how close I want to get to him.
Three 3-0. That pitch taken inside by Jerko. He thought it was a strike.
It looked like one.
And so it's a walk by Adelman, his first. And it extends the inning to Brandon Moss with 2 outs. Moss struck out swinging first time up. Just wonder, second time through, Cardinals, you know, you get that first look at that funky delivery. You see it. Now second time through, what kind of adjustment you make?
Well, that's what you'd hope for. You can look at all the video and everything else, but until you stand in that batter's box and see what it really looks like, you're still kind of guessing. And today's hitters are so dependent on video and scouting reports. If there's any alteration on a scouting report, they don't adjust in game.
Oh, and 2.
Something must look a little different in that batter's box because they've taken a lot of strikes. He has shown an ability to pitch inside to the lefties.
0-2 pitch to Moss. And he struck him out. 3 strikeouts and 2 of Brandon Moss here today. 2-0 Redbirds. Hernan Iribarren. Then Adelman and Hamilton. Martinez has struck out 3 and walked 1. Only base runner for the Reds today.
Iribarren leads all Reds minor leaguers and the International League in hitting. Hit .327.
And a ground ball that's hit to Colton Wong. It's a 3rd ground ball out for Martinez. You know he's right when the slider is especially effective, which it has been here today. He's got 3 strikeouts, and then you know too when he's getting the ground balls that it's effective with the sinker too.
Exactly. And he doesn't walk a whole lot. Attacks his zone, gets the strikeouts, and
Adelman on the first pitch pops it up near the stands. Piscotty, and it's out of play. Reds pitcher comes in hitting .091. No home runs, couple of RBIs.
Reds pitchers are hitless in their last 18 at bats. This season they've had hitless skids of 0 for 36, 0 for 48, and as a pitching staff they're hitting .068, last in the National League.
One ball and 2 strikes. And his 4th strikeout of the day. The other thing you notice with Martinez too, his pace is picked up. It's still controlled, but it's a quicker pace. He doesn't walk around the mound. He gets the ball and goes. Very compact delivery. Doesn't fall off to first base as much anymore.
That's because he's under control. You know, they've got him to buy into backing off a little bit on velocity for better location, with the hope that he'll go deeper into a game. You know, I mean, he's got a lot in reserve that if it gets into a jam, he can reach back and amp up.
It's almost like a different pitch. If he wants to throw 98, 99, it's there.
Yeah, when he wants to throw it. But they've got him to live at that 94 to 96 range. And you always send a positive message when you're work quickly like he does.
Something's not right with Hamilton. He stepped away and
he pulled aside,
grabbing that left side. Technically what he did, you're not supposed to be able to do with the rules unless you're hurt, which is
he's hurt.
You know, if you swing or foul a ball off, then he can step out, but he took a pitch and then Martinez was just about ready to deliver, and then all of a sudden he stepped out of the batter's box. Something grabbing there on that left side.
How long are you going to wait? It doesn't appear he's going to be able to continue. Had his career high 58 steal in yesterday's ball game, and I'm sure he wants to stay in there and leading the major league in steals. But how long are you going to wait? Now Angel's coming over to find out what's going on. Most time you'll see it on a swing, but here he just gears up to swing but does not. And he feels it on the left side.
That will be it for Billy Hamilton.
Duvall, Holt.
This will be Tyler Holt off the bench. And that's it for Hamilton. So he leaves with a 2-1 count. 2 outs here in the third.
We'll see whose at bat it is.
Holt stretching a bit, and here we go. He comes in the ball game. 2 balls, 1 strike to count with 2 outs and nobody on. On the year, hitting .214. He made a start yesterday. No home runs. He's driven in 8. Well, from the Cardinals' perspective, that's a big threat, obviously off the bases, and a guy that has tore up the Cardinals with stolen bases this year. Fastball taken high at 97. Welcome to the game. The 3-1 pitch. See Angel Hernandez get the attention of Martinez to move the rosin back, move it behind the rubber. 3-2. The slider misses low and away. Second walk issued by Martinez. Cozart flied to center his first time up. Friday night in game 1, he snapped an 0 for 17 skid. And since that time, he's reached base in 7 of his last 10 plate appearances. He's had a good series. Good slider for strike 1. See Holt still stretching over there, trying to get loose at first base. Little different when Billy Hamilton's over there.
Yes, sir.
1 ball and 1 strike. Short lead at first, and the 1-1. Molina just flips it down to first base. I see you. See Martinez last couple of pitches falling off towards first base. Fly ball lifted into right center. Randall Grichuk makes the catch. Reds strand a runner, their second of the afternoon. We play 3-2 Cardinals. That's a part of the 4-game series coming up with Milwaukee. Breaking ball 2, Piscotty taken low. Tyler Holt stays in the game for the injured Hamilton in center field. 4 with Milwaukee, then 3 with Chicago. 1 ball, 1 strike. Come home, and it's a 6:15 first pitch Thursday night. Off the end of the bat. Stephen Piscotty scored on the home run by Grichuk back in the second inning as he doubled out to left. Here's a 1-2. Ground ball that's chopped to short. Zach Cozart makes the play. 1 away. In steps Yadier Molina. Molina sent one to deep right his first time up. I might have to agree with your assessment. 50-50 maybe today.
Yeah.
Reds and Cardinals, a lot of boos, a lot of cheers for Yadi. Big gap in left center. And the first pitch is strike 1. Just a gorgeous day here in Cincinnati. Base hit for Molina.
5-game hitting streak for Yadi. It's the longest on the team right now.
I mentioned yesterday that Molina is heading to his career high in innings caught. And you would think with all the mileage on that body, all the fastballs, the hands that get beat up, the body that gets beat up, that maybe a second half would be a downturn for him. And yet he has had a tremendous second half.
He really has, and just a testament of him taking care of himself.
Greg Garcia with a fly ball lifted to left field. And Peraza makes the catch. 2 outs, and Molina back to the bag at first. Talked about it before, but just the beating that a catcher takes. You see what he's done here in the second half. 347. And in particular with your hands. I mean, just take for granted.
Yeah, and I think, you know, remember he had the 2 surgeries on the thumb. I think the first half is a little bit indicative of how long it took him to get the hands back to where they're really working. And thinking about that with Peralta, you can understand why Peralta's never felt really comfortable this year. And next year, be the 4th year of the contract. Is that right?
Next year is his final year.
And I think you'll see him a lot better offensively.
Randall Grichuk, opposite field home run, is 21st back in the second inning. Wondering if he would get a fastball. He did, and drove it out to right. Just over the wall. Schebler climbing that wall, and a 2-run homer for Randall Grichuk.
He has the power to hit it out of any part of the field, particularly this bandbox.
And he pulls this one down the left field line. Foul. Hanging breaking ball. Hit it hard, but pulled it just foul.
It's quick hands, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
See the ball starting to curve. Can't be fouled by much, and it wasn't. He cuts down on his strikeouts. You see the immense talent that he has.
Long look and a strikeout of Grichuk. For today for Adelman. Cardinals strand a runner. 2-0 lead.
Carson Kelly from AAA. He arrived just before game time. Mike Matheny told me very excited to have Kelly with the team. He said he can help with both the bat and the glove. Kelly was originally drafted as a third baseman, but won a Gold Glove as the best defensive catcher in minor league baseball in 2015. Mike told me I had a feeling after a couple of years he would get a better understanding about the demands of the position. As for Kelly's offense, Mike said he's got a ton in there in terms of power and consistency in his approach at the plate. He also told me that the most impressive thing about Kelly, the reports that he's getting from Kelly's minor league coaches. He said they rave about the way he handles himself behind the plate. They also, the Cardinals, Dan, activated Brian Pena. So with Carson Kelly and Pena, the Cardinals now have 4 catchers.
He's a big kid too. There's a base hit for Votto off the bag at second. Some bad luck for Martinez. That would have been an out. He hit into the shift. Kelly, as you mentioned, 22. He was the 86th overall pick back in 2012. As Jerko was there to backhand that, potentially make the play. All-star this year was Carson Kelly. He hit 289. Cardinals just rave about his defense. And that's pulled foul off the bat of Suarez.
And you got a ball. There's Pena, who's caught 1 ball this year.
Here's the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Pena, of course, has missed much of the season. A knee injury. Has only played in 4 games for the Cardinals. Inside. Suarez struck out his first time up. 2 balls and 1 strike. Double play ball. Out at second. The turn and a double play. 6-4-3, and that's now 29 double plays on the ground with Martinez on the mound.
And that one was tailor-made, right? It's just a step for Jerko. You want to hit the ball hard. You want to hit it right at your fielder. So a couple steps right to his left, a little shuffle pass to Wong, and they throw him out by plenty. You got the strikeout and you got the double play ball. Get him out of any kind of jams.
Schebler takes a pitch high. He walked his first time up. And the 1-0 fouled back. So 29 ground balls that have turned into double plays for Carlos Martinez. Roark on that list. Wainwright, Garcia as well. Tyler Chatwood of Colorado. The shift is on and a 1-1 pitch. Talk to scouts and they'll tell you that they believe Martinez does not need to fall off to get extra velocity, which sometimes he'll do when you see it at 97, 98, 99.
You think you do, but you really don't. Anything driving right towards the plate is going to give you your maximum performance.
And that pitch taken outside. 3rd walk issued by Martinez.
It's a little on Martinez like. And twice the walks have been to Schebler.
Jose Peraza will be the hitter. 2-0 our score on a Randal Grichuk home run back in the 2nd inning. First pitch, a strike. The most double plays made behind a Cardinals pitcher was John Denny. That's hit up the middle and a base hit. Throw by Grichuk to third, not in time. Aggressive there, Schebler on that base hit. Second hit in this inning, the second allowed by Martinez in the game.
That was just perfectly placed up the middle, and Grichuk has a pretty good arm, but they were aggressive and they got away with it. Ball not hit particularly hard, just back up the middle, and then see Grichuk will come to your pitcher and he'll come up firing. But in the way he threw that ball, they didn't allow Peraza, the hitter, to go to second.
And here is Ramon Cabrera, struck out swinging back in the second inning. Runners at the corners. 2 outs. First pitch, a strike. .55 pitches on the day for Martinez. Cabrera, pretty good numbers with runners in scoring position. Lots of room to the left side of the infield. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Got a little playing time recently as Tucker Barnhart, their #1 catcher, was out for a while with a hand injury. So Cabrera got a chance to play for pretty much a week.
Here's a 1-2. Popped out on the infield. Garcia. He is there, and the Reds strand 2. They've left 4 on, and we move to inning number 5. Beautiful day. Sit back and relax on this holiday weekend. Wherever you may be, hope you're enjoying Cardinals baseball. Jim Hayes, Al Raboski, Dan McLaughlin with you, and now it's Colton Wong to lead it off here in inning number 5. Wong with a fly ball, deep right field, at the wall, it's gone. Colton Wong, second home run on this trip. And it's a 3-0 St. Louis lead.
Fourth home run, 17th RBI. He had those two games in Milwaukee to start the road trip. He swung the bat really well and made some key defensive plays. This one had plenty to spare out there in right field.
397 feet off the bat of Colton Wong. That's pulled foul by Martinez.
Martinez had a 10-pitch at bat the first time up. One of the better at bats by a Cardinal today.
I was talking with Colton the other day, and he said this has been one of the most frustrating seasons he's ever had, collegiately, professionally, little league, as he was up and down from the minor leagues, got off to the slow start. Days like today, though, would help.
Well, and you know, it sounds funny, but you really learn from your struggles.
Cardinals home run breakdown this year with no runners on, 124. And look at with one runner on, 40 home runs. That is updated. 2 runners on, third best in baseball. So the Cardinals have now hit 23 straight games with a home run. All-time record, I believe, is 28 by the Texas Rangers. After the strikeout of Martinez, it's now Carpenter, and the 1-0 pitch is taken for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes.
27. We're getting closer.
So 27 is the all-time record.
Yeah, San Diego have 25 this year to lead the major leagues. And the longest streak in Major League history is held by the 2002 Texas Rangers at 27. They were 17-10 during that time. That's the thing. The Cardinals have just been playing .500 while they've had this home run streak.
Here's a 2-1. Hit out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carpenter is flied to right center and also flied out to right. 0 for 2 today.
So important to our offense. He's 0 for his last 7, just 3 for 21 on the road trip.
Popped out. Shallow left. And the catch is made by Cozart. What a great deal on tickets. Fill up at Phillips 66, 8 gallons or more. Now until September 29th. And receive up to 50% off on a pair of tickets to a Cardinals home game. For more information, visit cardinals.com/Phillips66. This is the 55th time the Cardinals have had 2 or more home runs in a game. That's most in the National League. Trails Baltimore. They have 59, and they're tied with Toronto with those 55 games.
And they've hit home runs in, what, 22 straight games, 45 during that time. So need a third here today to average 2 per game.
Taken low by Jerko. He is walked and also flied out to deep right. Two 1. 2-2. We'll be on the air tomorrow at 2:30. Pre-game show. Labor Day in Pittsburgh. Chad Cole, he's 3-2, ERA under 3 against Adam Wainwright, 9-8. And Adam was very good last time out against Milwaukee. Here's a 3-2 pitch to Jerko. Tapped foul.
Adam has a 1-1 record this year, 3.26 ERA in 3 starts at Pittsburgh. A career mark of 12-7 at Pittsburgh, but he won his first 5 decisions at PNC Park, and he's lost his last 4.
And right into the face of Matt Adams. Luckily, he is behind the protection there in the dugout. This date in Cardinals history, Adams had a big night here in Cincinnati a few years ago. 2 home runs in extra innings. Speaking of home runs, Colton Wong. Solo shot, second on the trip, 4th of the year. 3-0 Cardinals. 3-0 Cardinals here in the 5th. Ira Barn is at the plate. Rounded out his first time up.
Made 24 major league appearances, all with the Brewers. It was back in 2008 and 2009. Played every position but catcher, including 4 hitless pitching performances.
Lined into the seats. Rafi Lopez, a backup catcher, is at the on-deck circle for Cincinnati.
It appears that everyone's okay. And those screamers right over the dugout.
Jumbo Diaz is throwing in their pen. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 5 strikeouts for Martinez. Greater coverage of Major League Baseball is brought to you by T-Mobile. Albert Pujols now with 588 home runs, 9th place all time. And just announced today, within the hour, that Clayton Kershaw will start on Friday night. So the Dodgers getting him back for the stretch run. There's a broken back ground ball, backhanded by Carpenter. And quickly 2 outs.
Martinez going over to cover towards first, and that barrel of that shattered bat flying towards him.
So 2 outs, and it brings in Tyler Holt. He's at the top of their lineup. Billy Hamilton had an issue with his side, and so he left on a 2-1 count, his second plate appearance of the afternoon, and Holt came in, he walked, and then was left stranded and stayed in the game. First pitch is taken high. Breaking ball inside. So here it was, 3rd inning, not even with a swing, just took the pitch and something grabbed on that left side.
Got all your momentum going forward, trying to take that swing, and then you stop, and it caught him.
3-0. Three balls and 1 strike.
Martinez just playing catch out there.
Three and 2.
Walked 3, struck out 5. That ball movement.
3-2 pitch on its way. And it's taken high and inside. Martinez asking if it was in. Very close. 4th walk issued by Carlos.
2 of them to Holt. Pitch count at 70. Cozart to fly out to center twice. Big gap in left center.
Fly ball lifted into center field off the bat of Cozart. 3 flyouts to Randall Grichuk. He's 0 for 3 on the day. We head to the 6th. 3-0 St. Louis. St. Louis in the top of the 6th. The BJC Healthcare difference maker. Cardinals in their last 8 are 3-5, and you see the difference with run differential. Runs way down. Cardinals have struggled with runners in scoring position, but hitting home runs. So Cardinals with 2 more today, and it's added up to a 3-0 lead. Top of the 6th, Jumbo Diaz. Been used in a variety of roles by Brian Price last couple of seasons. Setup man, closer, and now middle relief. And this is our Chevy call to the pen.
He's posted a 3.26 ERA in 22 appearances since June 27th. And he was promoted from Louisville for the 3rd time coming up to the Reds. Been a long time in the minor leagues, didn't he? And been up and down the last couple of years.
So Diaz to face Moss, who is 0 for 2.
13 years in the minor leagues before he got called up in 04.
Adelman 5 innings, 3 runs on 4 hits, struck out 6. 1 walk, gave up a pair of home runs. 2-run shot to Grichuk in the 2nd. Solo home run to Wong in the 5th.
And with expanded rosters, you don't let you stick around long. If you're about trailing, your spot comes up to hit, they're going to pinch hit for you.
Here's a 1-0 to Moss. Taken inside.
Moss looking for his first hit on the road trip.
Reds have 7 available right-handers in their pen, including Jumbo Diaz and 3 lefties. The 2-0 pitch popped up. That'll find the seats out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike.
I think Louisville's season is over tomorrow, so they're talking about more call-ups by Tuesday. Brought up 4 pitchers and 1 position player already.
Big gap in right center for Brandon Moss. To the backstop. 3-1 the count. Last home run for Moss was against the Mets. The previous homestand in St. Louis had a 2 home run game that gave him 25 for the year. 3-1 pitch. And Moss hits a high fly ball into right near the corner. Schebler over, and a foul ball. Hyundai pitch arsenal on the right-hander of the Reds. Fastball, slider, mixes in a split finger. Usually only against left-handed batters.
It's listed at 6'4", 278.
Three-two pitch to Moss. Struck him out. 3rd time that Moss has struck out. Cardinals today have struck out 7 times in their lineup. And it brings in Piscotty, doubled and scored in the home run by Grichuk in the 2nd. Also grounded out to short. And he's 1 for 2. Teams really play him straight up. You don't see a lot of shifting in the outfield, certainly not on the infield. Numbers bear that out. He sprays the ball and drives the ball the other way. Off the end of the bat, little squibber that stays fair. And Votto can't hold on. Piscotty is aboard with 1 down here in the top of the 6th.
Well, we'll see if they kind of question whether he's running on the grass or not. Every right-handed batter almost has to start on the grass. And look at Brian Price. He's coming out right now, and that may be his contention.
The play stands. It'll be an error on Votto, which will be his 8th of the year.
Watch him. You run out there, you see him on the grass. He doesn't get back into the running lane the entire way. It looked like he was running in the grass. And then Votto just couldn't, maybe screened a little bit by the throw, but he drops it. And they're going to check this out.
They may have an argument.
They definitely have an argument. But like I said, every right-hander almost has to start in the grass. But you'll see they'll make the adjustment and they'll get into the running lane, the dirt portion. But he never did. He was on the grass the entire way. So if they reverse this, you can understand why. And it looks like Brian Price's argument is going to be lost.
Now, the umpires can ask for help, but in terms of replay on this situation, you will not see that.
Right. I think Brian's got a legitimate argument.
Agreed.
They got together, but they didn't see what we saw. And you would think that the home plate umpire would be one of his responsibilities, along with the first base ump.
So the play stands. It'll be an error on Votto, his 8th of the season. Piscotty is aboard. In steps Yadier Molina. Yadi 1 for 2 today. Base hit to left. Also flied out to deep right. Molina usually very aggressive early in the count. First or second pitch, he's swinging. Does not take a lot of pitches at all.
Perfect hit and run man too, if you want to put it on. Yadi, his ability to go to the opposite field.
First pitch fouled back.
He was shooting for that hole in the right side.
Word on Billy Hamilton, by the way, left the game with a strained left oblique. So there it is on the first pitch. Almost half the time. And a .429 average for Yadier Molina. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
So much emphasis today on how important it is to throw first pitch strikes. So Yadi is aware of that as a catcher.
Piscotty running now to second and save. Stolen base for Stephen Piscotty, number 7.
There's a lesson that when you are picked off, just keep on running. A lot of times people will stop and get themselves in a rundown. And at the major league level, you like to think a very high percentage you're going to be tagged out. But if you keep on running, you may be safe. Takes the throw to first, then the first baseman has to make a throw. You see Votto is wide there. And I think a tag might have gotten Piscotty right before he slid to the bag. Throw was offline, but we'll see.
Milwaukee in the bottom of the third, a 1-0 lead over Pittsburgh. San Francisco and the Cubs, they're in the top of the second. There's no score. Sunday night game will be Washington and New York. So while we wait, Diaz staying loose on the mound, and here's the call coming up.
And the Cardinals have lost 3 straight, but Pirates have lost 5 straight.
1 1 minute 24 seconds on that review. Reds do not have any more challenges, and that's inside to Molina.
And he did a little push-ups for the Cardinal fans.
The 2-1 pitch. I'd venture to say when Molina takes a pitch inside, if he's knocked down or in that case hits the dirt, next pitch, no matter where it's at, I bet 8 out of 10 times he's swinging. The 2-2. A little bit high.
By the way, that was the 7th steal for Piscotty, leads the ball club. 51 behind Hamilton.
Greg Garcia on deck. 3-2 pitch to Yachty. Fouled back. Cardinals 1 for 3 today with runners in scoring position. 272 on the year. Three-two again. Out of play. Three-two pitch. Molina, base hit into center. That ball is down. Piscotty wasn't sure if it would get down, and he does advance to third.
Wow, that's hard to believe that he couldn't read that better. But caught in between, wasn't sure, so he had to start going back to second. Thought he would have scored on that easily.
Cardinals trying to make sure that the Reds do not complete their first series sweep against the Cardinals since July of 2012. Looking to add to their 3-0 lead.
Mason up the middle. We could tell from here wasn't going to carry far, but you see Piscotty wasn't sure, and luckily to get over to third base.
Well, Greg Garcia, another chance to drive in a run. First time up. Had a runner at third and only one out, struck out swinging, and then there was a 2-run homer by Randall Grichuk. He's also flied out to left. Inside. While Yachty swings at a lot of first pitches, Garcia does not. And he's one of the guys in this lineup you'll see continuously working a count.
Does a good job at that. Seems like a lot of clubs trying to bust him in too.
Here's a 2-0 pitch to Garcia instead of check on Molina, and they throw it away. Piscotty will score. That makes it a 4-0 St. Louis lead. Molina advancing to second base. The second error in the inning and in this game for the Reds.
Well, a gift run for Piscotty. Remember, he scored on an error. Stole the base. And then comes home on the error. Errant throw to first.
Inside, and it's 3 balls and no strikes on Greg Garcia. So 2 costly errors. And it leads to the 4th run of the afternoon for the Cardinals. Pitch number 21 for Diaz of the inning. 3 balls and 1 strike. Three and 2. Juan Andy Peralta, left-hander, getting loose in the pen for the Reds.
It'll be his major league debut when he appears.
3-2 pitch. A fly ball out to center. Catch is made. Molina will tag up from second to third. Two-run homer by Grichuk in the second. Strikeout in the fourth. 1 for 2. Cardinals had scored just a total of 4 runs in the last 3 games. They've got 4 here today.
Yeah, those 4 runs were on 4 solo home runs. 2 more home runs today, but we got a crooked number 1 by Grichuk.
0-1 pitch. Nothing at 2 as that caught Ramon Cabrera.
I think he gets a Grichuk bat for the foul ball.
Here's an 0-2 to Grichuk. And that ball gets away. Here comes Molina. Play at the plate. Safe. 5-0 Cardinals.
Diaz thinks,
score him any way you can.
Yeah, Diaz thinks that he tagged him, and he did after his foot crossed home plate.
Reds are out of challenges, though.
Yeah.
Even if they wanted to challenge. So 2 errors and now a wild pitch, and the Cardinals up to a 5-run lead. Here's a 1-2 to Grichuk. Hits it off the end of the bat down the right field line and out of play. Randall broke his bat, so gets a new piece of lumber. One ball and 2 strikes. Jumbo thought he had strike 3. 2-2. Well, the Cardinals have won each of the last 3 games started by Carlos Martinez, and trying to make it 4 in a row here today. Well on their way. The 2-2 pitch. Grichuk, a swing and a miss. Diaz with a couple of strikeouts in the inning, but he gives up a couple of runs. 2 errors in the inning. 5-0 Cardinals. 5-0. Carlos Martinez has struck out 5 on the heels of 13 strikeouts in his last start. He only faced 23 batters in that game against Milwaukee with 13 strikeouts.
Will be equal opportunists today. 5 strikeouts, 5 fly ball outs, and 5 ground ball outs. A little fewer ground ball outs than what we're normally accustomed to.
Votto picked up the first hit for the Reds today. Single up the middle. It hit off the second base pad, and he was erased on a double play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Through May, he was hitting .213. Since the All-Star break, around .430. And overall now the average is above 300. 2-2.
He's an on-base machine. Over 500 with his on-base machine since in the second half.
3-2 pitch. Tapped foul. High of 97, low of 74 today for Martinez. As Votto spoils that pitch. And it's a leadoff walk. Fifth walk by Martinez. Ground ball outs, always a part of the equation with Carlos Martinez.
Well, like I said, he's got 5 ground ball outs. And 1 double play. He leads the National League in that department, but he's second most. Highest ground ball percentage in the National League.
Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard, just shy of Jaime Garcia. Tops on that list, and here's Suarez.
Cardinals really do have a ground ball staff, don't they? Their rotation.
It's a premium on infield defense, which at times has been shaky this year. Base hit into left. This is a Reds team that's been very good at home since the All-Star break. They have won 16 of 24 here at the Great American Ballpark. And they put up a lot of runs at home. They've averaged better than 5 runs a game at home since the break. That's why they've been winning some of these games.
And they've hit well. They've hit 276 in the 45 games since the All-Star break, and they're 25 and 22nd best record in the National League. Cardinals are 5th with a 24 and 22 mark.
So base hit by Suarez, and here is Schebler, who has walked twice. First pitch swung on and missed at 96. Oh, 2. Struck him out. 3 pitches, and strikeout number 6 for Martinez. Margaritaville night is Friday, September 9th. Cardinals host the Brewers, and with the purchase of a special theme ticket, fans receive a Margaritaville inspired Cardinals t-shirt. There's also a pregame concert, and those tickets are at cardinals.com/theme. Six strikeouts for Martinez, and now Peraza, who's 1 for 2. Just past the diving Garcia into left field. Bases will be loaded for the Reds. So Peraza is 2 for 3.
See how close that was. The National League leader in double plays. You got a switch hitting catcher who's coming up here. Get your ground ball and get your 30th double play back in the dugout.
Well, pitch count is at 85. Get that double play, certainly squeeze one more inning out of Martinez. One swing of the bat, though, the Reds could be right back in this game. Fireworks going off. Lost the bat, strike 1.
I don't know if they have an air show here on the riverfront. Cabrera is listed at 5'8". Fire plug, didn't he? 5'8", 197 from Venezuela.
Base is loaded and an 0-1 pitch. Martinez now working from the windup. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Cardinals turned to double play back in inning number 4. That was Suarez at the plate. There's your ground ball. And they turn 2. 4-6-3 on the double play. And the Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. It'll be a major league debut for Wandy Peralta. Friday he was promoted from Louisville. He is now the 12th Reds pitcher to make his major league debut this season. Their 30th pitcher overall to make an appearance, which now ties the franchise record. Spent the year at Pensacola and Louisville. He was 4-2. Had a couple of starts, primarily though as a reliever, and it's his major league debut here today. He'll get Wong, Martinez, and the top of the lineup.
And they really like his changeup. Something that current pitching coach Mac Jenkins taught him years ago, and then kind of refined by Mariota Soto.
Cole Wong back in the 5th, the second Cardinal home run of the day. This one a solo shot, and his 4th of the year. He's now driven in 17 this season.
Changeup has become such a big pitch in today's baseball, but there was a time that really you didn't see a lot of changeups, where you only saw them from breaking ball pitchers. And Mario Soto was one of the first that I can remember that threw like mid-90s and then came up with a great changeup.
Carlos Martinez induced that double play, the second hit by the Reds today, and so now that's 30 behind him. And there's only been 6 Cardinals in the history of the franchise to have 30 ground ball double plays. Martinez the latest to that list. The last was Wainwright in 2013. Wong pops it up into shallow right, and the catch is made for out number 1.
And Denny with 34. Is that the record?
John Denny with 34. Here's Martinez 0 for 2, and that double play keeps him in this game. Get around 100 pitches, you might think about pinch hitting for him, but that double play ensured the fact that he stays in this game.
And isn't really everything falls in place when the starter gives you 7 innings. His day is not through, but I think Mike Matheny has to be very pleased with the starts he's gotten on this road trip. Every starter, and this is the 6th game on the road trip, 2nd time for Martinez, but have had a quality start.
In the air to second base. 2 down. It's a good start for Peralta, making his major league debut. With 2 outs, it brings in Carpenter. He is 0 for 3. Fly to center, fly to right, and popped out to short. Ball 1. Two and 0. Jerko on deck. Just tuned in. Randall Grichuk, 2-run homer back in the 2nd. Wong a solo home run in the 5th. Couple of errors. Wild pitch in the 6th led to 2 runs. The 2-1.
Jumbo Diaz gets an innings of work with 2 runs, but both of them unearned. and he commits a throwing error and a wild pitch.
Three-two pitch.
Peralta was acquired from the Dodgers along with Brandon Dixon and Scott Schebler as part of the three-team deal in which the White Sox acquired the Todd Frazier from the Reds.
3-2 again, and he walked him. Jerko over 2 with a walk today. Runner at first is Carpenter, 2 outs. Outfield is straight away and deep, and a shift on the infield. Strike 1. Two. It's a good change up there by Peralta. Ed Jerko way out in front. Struck him out. River Fest here in Cincinnati. Big fireworks show is coming up. They're already lining them up. Let's stretch. Cardinals on top here in game 3.
More hit, but those 2 big errors, and the Cardinals got the first 3 runs on a 2-run home run by Grichuk and a solo shot by Colton Long. Probably Martinez's last inning of work, as his pitch count is nearing 100 after a few outs here. He's really dominated against the last 3. 7, 8, and 9 in the order are 0 for 7 right now, and the 8th place hitter making his major league debut. There's Carlos, 6 hits, or excuse me, 6 innings, side of baseball. He has walked by, very uncharacteristic. He's gotten 2 big double plays to help him out. Pitch count at 88, so Danny, probably his last inning of work, and let's close it out with a good one.
The attendance today, 26,985, 26,985. So Martinez will get Iribarren, then Peralta's spot, and Holt. Ivan De Jesus has moved to the on-deck circle, and away we go here in the bottom of the 7th, and the first pitch is taken for a strike. Iribarren grounded out to second base and also struck out.
Saying Dan now, really, he's dominated the lower third in the order like you have to do. They're 0 for 7 at this point. Top of the order is going to try and keep them off base for the guys in the middle. We're going to get some hits and RBIs possibly.
Slapped the other way and a base hit. Ball drops in front of Moss, and the leadoff man is aboard.
His first major league hit in his first major league game after having a great season and has the batting championship in the International League. Hernan Iribarren. And it's to a souvenir. Hit the third double play.
So he's pinch hitting for Peralta, who did walk a man, but no damage done in his major league debut. De Jesus made a start in game 1 at first base for Joey Votto. He was out with a sore neck. And a high fly ball lifted out to deep center. Grichuk is back. It's over his head and at the base of the wall. No throw on the relay, and the Reds score their first run of the afternoon to make it 5-1.
Rare extra base hit by a right-handed batter. He jumps on the first pitch. Fastball up and in. He's been throwing that pitch a lot. And this little bandbox, it flies over the head of Grichuk, right at the base of the center field wall, and the Reds are on the scoreboard.
Here's Tyler Holt at the top of the lineup now for Cincinnati. Holt in place of the injured Billy Hamilton. And the 1-0 pitch from Martinez. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cardinals have the left-hander Zach Duke getting loose in the pen. Kivas Sampson, right-hander, getting loose for Cincinnati.
Martinez has allowed 1 earned run in each of his last 4 starts, including today. 2-0 with a 1.29 ERA during that time.
Two balls and 1 strike. Cardinals trying to salvage 1 game in this 3-game series. Off to Pittsburgh tomorrow. First of 3 in that all-important series with the Pirates. It's taken low, and it's 3-1 as Martinez is kicking at the dirt on the mound. Brewers lead the Pirates 1-0. That's in the bottom of 5. 3-1 pitch. In there for a strike. 3-2.
Let's walk twice in this ball game. 2 of the 5 walks Martinez has allowed.
Molina just told Matt Carpenter back up at first base. Hit up the middle, off the bag again for the 2nd time in this game. That makes it a 5-2 St. Louis lead. Still nobody out.
I don't know if Grichuk would have been able to throw it out De Jesus, but with that ball hitting the second base bag, it slowed it up to give him no chance. And Mike Matheny making a slow walk out. Looks like he's going to go to the bullpen.
So 3 consecutive hits for the Reds here in the home half of the 7th. The other ball that hit off the bag was Joey Votto, and the first hit for the Reds that was in the 4th.
And Jerko is playing, had him played there where he would have made that play.
So Zach Duke, he's into the ball game. It's our Chevy call to the pen. Nobody out, runner at first, and a 5-2 St. Louis lead.
16th appearance since coming to the Cardinals. First 53 were with the White Sox. Came at the trade deadline.
And that's ball 1.
In 12 2/3 innings, he struck out 17. But it's the 8 walks that have gotten him in a little trouble. Got in trouble Friday night, but Bowman did a nice job to bail him out. And he's working with 9 scoreless appearances.
Drops down, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike on Zach Cozart. Cardinals have turned 2 double plays today.
Back in 2013, he was at AAA with the Reds organization, Zach Duke, and reinvented himself as a reliever, and with that dropping down and throwing it less than 3/4, more sidearm.
Here's a 1-1. Good off-speed pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Votto on deck, and then Suarez.
How anxious Duke is to get to Pittsburgh. In several years, originally came up through their organization and pitching in their rotation.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Garcia guarding the line at third. Carpenter is holding at first. Outfield is straight away. The 2-2. Lined into right field. There's Piscotty, makes the catch. And back to the bag goes Tyler Holt. 1 away. When you think about it, this becomes a very important at bat in this game. Joey Votto with 22 home runs, 1 swing, and all of a sudden it's 5-4.
Just the hottest hitter since the All-Star break. Even if he doesn't hit a home run, he could bring up the potential tying run if he gets on base.
He has walked today. He is singled. Goes back in the 4th and grounded out to second. First pitch to him. Tapped foul for strike 1. He's 12 for 23 with a home run against Duke. Now you look at those numbers and you say, all right, he's dominated Duke for the most part. However, how much has that been done as a starter and now with a guy that's reinvented himself?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. What has he done since 2014?
1 ball, 1 strike on Joey Votto. A short lead at first. Reaches for it and a base hit into right. Holt will stop at second base, and the tying run now comes to the plate.
Or just a controlled swing, just kind of punched at the ball, and watch this swing. He's reaching for it, one hand in it, just lifting it over the infield. His second hit of the afternoon and 3rd time he's been on base.
There's Suarez, and he's popped 20 home runs this year.
He was a hero Friday night with his first walk-off base hit. One of 10, only 10 Reds third basemen to hit 20 home runs in a season.
Room to the right side of the infield. Outfield is straight away. Garcia guarding the line at third. Did not go. 2 balls and no strikes. 3-0. See the frustration with the slumped shoulders of Yadier Molina.
I'm going to go out there and talk to Duke, talk to the veteran, kind of slow him down there a little bit. But from the Reds standpoint, and now Derek Lilliquist will join them. From the Reds standpoint, this has almost been a repeat of the first 2 games. Cardinals own the first 6 innings, and the Reds own the last 3, doing the damage against the bullpen. Put a stop to that. I think the Reds fans are outnumbering the Cardinal fans right now.
3-0 the count. Schebler is on deck. And there's a strike. 3-1. Matt Bowman is throwing in the Cardinals' pen. The 3-1 pitch. Now 3-2.
And then hitting Schebler is on deck, so finishes the bat.
3-2 pitch with runners at first and second. Off the glove of Duke. Everybody safe and the bases are loaded. 4th hit in the inning for Cincinnati.
There's a double play, a potential double play if he catches that ball, and just need another inch of leather on the glove. Bring up Schebler. Comebacker hit hard enough. They just can't get it to stick in the webbing, and the potential double play is not there.
So the base is loaded. Schebler has walked twice. He is struck out. We're in the bottom of the 7th. 5-2 the lead for St. Louis. Peraza is on deck. Duke has come in, got a line out, and given up 2 base hits, and that pitch taken for a ball. A lot of room to the gap in right center. Here's a 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes.
Tough enough when you're pitching even or ahead in the count, but falling behind, you make a hitter that much more dangerous.
Three and 0. You might be getting into Matt Bowman territory when you have the bases loaded.
Tomorrow. I mean, Nick's batter. Hoping you can get a double play.
Here's a 3-0. 3-1.
Bowman's name's all over Peraza, the on-deck hitter. What's the situation going to be?
3-1 pitch. Now 3-2.
Ball 4 there. But go up there thinking, okay, 3-1. I'm going to get my pitch in the zone, and he throws one way wide off speed.
Pitch number 20 of the inning for Zach Duke. The 3-2. Little fly ball out to left. Moss charging in, makes the catch. The throw to the plate is in time. Double play. It's a double play. Moss, a strike to Molina, and that keeps it a 5-2 St. Louis lead.
Good double play. The Cardinals have turned here. Moss comes in with a strong throw, beats the runner, and a nice tag.
And it comes at the right time. Got himself in a good position to throw, too.
Momentum coming forward, right over the top. Nice, had plenty of time for Yachty to get that one hopper and apply the tag. And with the no contact rules at the plate, it makes it a little easier, doesn't it? You don't have to worry about a runner barreling you over.
Here's Moss, who is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Kivas Sampson, a right-hander, new pitcher in for Cincinnati. It's our Chevy call to the pen.
He was claimed off of waivers from San Diego in January of 2015.
And the 0-1 pitch. Moss pops it up. On the infield, there's Cozart, and there's the first out. So that's how we start play here in the top of the 8th. Adelman went 5. Then Jumbo Diaz, major league debut for Peralta, and now Kivas Sampson. Piscotty with 2 runs scored today. A double to left back in the second. Scored on the home run by Grichuk. Rounded out to short. Reached on an error. Fastball at a strike at 94. A little bit of a shift here for Stephen Piscotty. Second baseman is near the bag. And the outfield is straight away.
Wouldn't hurt to get a few insurance runs, would it?
Kevin Segrist is throwing in the Cardinals pen. And that's hit out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Kivas Sampson, his 4th stint with the Reds this year, and most of the year at Louisville, where he pitched in 18 games, 9 starts, 3-3 with a 1.88 ERA. With the Reds, this is his 13th game.
2-2 is held on to, and a strikeout of Piscotty. So Sampson has come in. He's retired the first 2. And with 2 outs, the batter will be Molina.
There's Kevin Segrist. Must be the 8th inning.
Pitch taken high by Molina. 2 for 3, fly to right, pair of singles. And the 1-0 is cranked out to left down the line. Hooking foul. Just a long strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on the Cardinals catcher.
I had a feeling he was looking for something, got it, and turned on it a little too quick.
Molina homered in game 1 of this series. That's out to right. Well hit at the wall, and it is caught. Molina robbed at the wall by Schebler. Our score is 5-2 in favor of the Cardinals. That's the giveaway from a few weeks ago. The Cardinals fedora.
Kevin Segrist pitched last on Friday. It's our Chevy call to the bullpen. He had an interesting inning. He walked a career high 3, had a couple strikeouts, did not score in that ball game. Opponents are hitting 196 on him.
And a fastball to start the bottom of the 8th. Jose Peraza. Peraza with a couple of base hits, single to center, single to left, and grounded into a fielder's choice. There's the 0-1. When he throws the curveball, it's normally against left-handed batters.
Yeah, remember he was very successful in retiring right-handed batters with his fastball changeup. But he needed an off-speed pitch for the left-handers, so they worked hard on it spring training with the curveball.
Carpenter near the railing and out of play.
Sometimes I thought this year they've tried to throw that curveball more to the right-handed batters and kind of lost the feel or the touch of the changeup to the righties.
Brewers now a 5-0 lead over the Pirates in the top of the 6th. Bottom of 5, Giants a 2-1 lead over Chicago at Wrigley. And a base hit into right center for Peraza.
It's his 3rd hit.
Later this afternoon, the Marlins and the Indians, and Sunday Night Baseball is Washington and New York. So Peraza 3 for 4, and it brings in Cabrera, bounced into a double play back in the 6th. The Cardinals have turned 3 double plays in this game. For 3 today with that double play strikeout, and he popped out. Shade him a bit into right center. Garcia near the line at 3rd. Carpenter holding at 1st. The 1-0 pitch by Kevin Segrist. 2-0.
'57th game for Segrist. 5-2, ERA just over 3.
And 0.
You watch Kevin, and he had that bout with mononucleosis, and I know I've said this every time, but he just doesn't look like the same guy. It's like he's still fighting his strength. So reliable.
Well, the control has not been there.
Yeah.
Three and 1. Velocity has been there, but the lack of control just not quite the same. And you never know, tail end of the season, maybe wearing down a bit. But he is the primary setup man to get to 0. Ground ball could be 2. Out at second, the turn, double play. Cardinals turn their 4th double play of the afternoon. Nice turn by Colton Wong.
He's quick there, isn't he? Breaks the bat. Not going to get out of the box quickly. It's also the catcher running. So just simple execution, and they did it perfectly. And as you said, 4th double play.
The 4th in the last 5 innings. 3 have been on the ground. Then you had that play by Moss with the catch, and runner trying to tag up and score, and that turned into a double play to end the 7th. Iribarren is at the plate. No balls and 2 strikes. Just get a new life when you have that double play.
No doubt.
Second game this year that the Cardinals have turned for them. May see that breaking ball here. In the dirt. 1-2. Adam Duvall is on deck. Cingrani and Ohlendorf getting loose in the pen for the Reds. Big gap in right center. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Struck him out. Good work by Kevin Segrist. Leadoff base hit. Fell behind 3-0. Gets the double play and a strikeout. 23 straight games the Cardinals have hit a home run in. Ross Ohlendorf is the new pitcher. It's our Chevy call to the pen. The big righty is in for the Cincinnati Reds. We move to the 9th. It'll be Garcia, Grichuk, and Wong. 4 double plays turned by the Cardinals in this game, and that's one of the big story lines thus far.
Ross Ohlendorf's 200th career appearance. He was released by Kansas City in spring training, picked up by the Reds. An old-fashioned windmill windup.
This day and age, you just don't see guys do this.
No, you don't. This is old school. You can go back to seeing some of the black and white footage of the very early days of baseball, and you'd see this type of windup. And his last time out was Sunday and gave up 3 runs on 4 hits in 1 inning.
The 2-0 to Garcia. And now 3-0. So 4 straight, and in steps Randal Grichuk. Grichuk with a 2-run homer back in the 2nd. He has struck out the previous 2 plate appearances.
Will that be another game winner for Grichuk? Got us on the scoreboard at 2-0.
Cardinals with only 5 hits today.
I know.
But you have the double plays and you have the home runs and good starting performance by Martinez.
You know, remember the bad inning where Diaz allowed a hit, but 2 runs scored, both of them unearned. He had a throwing error and also a wild pitch, allowed a run to score.
0-1 pitch is a high fly ball, right center field. It's at the wall and caught. Garcia back to the bag at first. Remember, it was Greg Garcia yesterday in which he went around second base and that great catch by Hamilton and had to backtrack and then was doubled off at first.
This time he made sure he got to second base and rounded. And yesterday, of course, Hamilton, who plays so deep, really that ball got over his head, hit by Rosario with the bases loaded, and you know, he just naturally thought that he wouldn't catch up to it and he would have scored from first base, but they turned it into a nifty double play.
Here's Colton Wong. Ooh, and they almost threw that one away. So here it is, Garcia, and what he had to do.
This time he got to second, put his foot on it, so but didn't go around it.
Wong is homered here today. Been a part of 3 of those double plays turned by the Cardinals. Matt Adams is on deck. With check swing and right over Adams. One ball, 1 strike on Wong. Short lead at first by Garcia. And he's hit by the pitch. Well, two right-handers getting loose in the Cardinals pen. That's Seung-Hwa No on the left if it is a save situation, and Bowman is on the right if not. We flash back, and it was Matt Adams, 2 home runs in extra innings. Do it yourself, big man. And he did.
If I remember, that was a major league record. 2 home runs in extra inning, same game. Get him ready to going into Pittsburgh.
Certainly you have to wonder about the timing right now for Adams. Missed considerable time, very short rehab assignment, and hasn't played since he's come back. Runners at first and second. The shift is on here for Adams. 1 ball and 1 strike. He could bust this wide open. Here's a 1-1 inside. Inning started with a walk, then a fly out to the wall. Wong hit by a pitch, changeup, and it's now 2-2.
Pinch hitter this year, Matt has got 10 pinch hits with 2 home runs, a .370 average, 10 for 27.
Struck him out. Well, you heard the crowd. They were excited about a strikeout because that means free pizza for everybody with a ticket.
11 is the magic number, and it's the 11th Cardinal to strike out today.
Start chanting pizza, pizza. Turns into Animal House.
They used to have a Foamer night in the Astrodome, or Friday night if you know, an Astro would hit a home run, it was free beer at a certain situation, or if they had to name a visiting player, and if he struck out when the light was on, it would alternate, I guess, every minute. If a designated player was strike out, it was free beer for the rest of the night. Kenny Reitz was the batter. J.R. Richards was the pitcher, and J.R. was throwing in his prime.
Carpenter pulls it foul.
I think Kenny had 3 strikeouts that day, but the umpires wouldn't let him throw, wouldn't let J.R. pitch in the first 2 or 3 at bats with that light was on and with 2 strikes on, because they didn't want to see free beer for. Finally, about the last time they let it go, about the 7th or 8th inning.
1-1 the count on Carpenter.
One of those promotions that didn't last very long.
Matt has walked. He is 0 for 3. Good cut. Fouled it back, and it's 1-2.
You hope that walk last time up starts leading to something, because he's been struggling. 3 for 22 on the road trip. And a lot of times when you get a walk or 2, you start seeing the ball a little better, and then good things happen. Let's hope.
One ball and 2 strikes on the Cardinals leadoff man. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Inside and kept in front. Nice play.
Cabrera at 5'8" doesn't have to go far to get down. And there's a nice block right there.
The 2-2. Down the right field line again, but yanked foul. You have to assume Ole really wants to get back out there after the walk-off and the loss that he took on Friday night.
And you have a bad game, or you give up a game, you're going in for a save, and you end up walking off a loss.
Carpenter strikes out. Cardinals strand 2. They've left 5 on in this game. 5-2. Bottom of the 9th coming up. Cardinals 14 of 17 in save opportunities. Cardinals trying to hold on for Carlos Martinez. Very good ERA of 1.82 on the year. Cardinals with just 5 hits, but they've been aided by turning 4 double plays in this game.
And this is his 68th appearance for O.
Kubota power stats. Duvall digs in. League leaders in home runs. Arenado and Bryant with 36. Chris Carter with 31. Hit that over the weekend. And Duvall. First pitch is a strike. So the Cardinals 3 outs away from salvaging a game in this weekend series against Cincinnati. And the 0-1 pitch to Duvall. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. That was the thing about the other night. Not only was O missing with location, but missing by a lot. And usually that's not him.
Yeah, and then umpires didn't give him a couple pitches also. Duvall is celebrating his 28th birthday today. All-star for the first time this year.
1-2 the count. Cardinals hope to watch Trevor Rosenthal in Pittsburgh just to see where he's at and progressing back to the mound potentially for the stretch run.
At the very least, just ease his mind for the offseason.
1-2 is lined into left and a base hit. Went down to get it. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Cardinals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Well, they've turned 4 double plays today. How about 5? Top of the lineup, and Tyler Holt.
He's walked twice and a base hit.
First pitch, a strike.
It's all since coming in for the injured Billy Hamilton and pulled an oblique.
Greg Garcia is near the line at third, even with the bag. Carpenter holding it first. A little bit high. 1 ball and 1 strike.
2 of those 3 losses have been walk-off losses to the Cincinnati Reds.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. 1-2. That same pitch here, you might get him to roll over. Molina sets up outside, and it's 2-2. Two pitch. Struck him out. All important first out here in the bottom of the 9th. It's like throwing darts with O. Meticulous in how he prepares, hitting his spots. Good changeup. The fastball mixes in a slider. Now Zach Cozart with one down and a runner at first. Strike one.
Like I said, he can pretty much thread that outside part of the plate.
Oh, 1 pitch. Make it 0-2.
Cozart's it into 8 double plays.
Oh, 2 pitch by Seung-Hwan Oh is fouled back. Oh, 2 struck him out with a slider. So 2 outs. We turn to our Budweiser player of the game, Carlos Martinez. 6 innings, 7 hits, couple of runs. He did walk 5 and he strikes out 6 as the Reds did not pick up their first hit until the 4th.
In line for his 13th victory.
That first hit was off the bat of this man, Joey Votto. A couple of hits today for Votto. First pitch is a fly ball lifted out to left, and this should do it. The Cardinals come into Cincinnati and salvage a game. They pick up the win 5-2 on this Sunday afternoon.
41st win on the road. They kind of stopped a losing streak right there. Prepare to go into Pittsburgh, where Pittsburgh is struggling. They're still losing 5-0. They had lost 5 in a row, so hopefully the Cardinals can make some ground. Nice going, Randall Grichuk. Got it all started with a 2-run home run.
Post-game show comes your way next.